Hey guys, today we're going to make my chili and I'll take you through the process. Okay, so I'm cutting up the red peppers and the green peppers. Alright, now I take my Spanish onion. So one Spanish onion will do it, one large Spanish onion will do it. If you only have access to sweet onions, then you're going to need probably two because they're normally smaller. Now I'm going to brown the ground beef. I'm using lean ground beef. I bought this lean ground beef at Food Basic. It was on sale for $8.30. Okay, so now that I've sauteed the onions and I've sauteed the garlic, I'm now going to transfer that out and I'm going to finish off the ground beef. And I'm going to take the French onion soup mix and I'm going to add that in. So you take the Willie's chili style sauce. I pour the entire container into. Next step now is to add the beef stock. So what I do is I take the chili container and I add some beef stock into the bottom, just filling it up so that it basically coats the bottom of the container. Once I filled it full of water, I then put the lid back on, just give it a good shake that makes sure I've got all the chili out of there as well. And now that will be beef stock. You can also use beef stock without having to do the water thing. I just find that this is more concentrate, so there's more flavor. And now I just bring this to a boil, and I've got Himalayan's salt, just a nice little. And we'll mix that up and we're good to go into the slow cooker with that. Okay, so now I'm going to add the ground beef mix into the slow cooker. Set the slow cooker to high. Chickpeas and kidney beans, and then mix those up. And now we're going to add tomato sauce. And so the tomato sauce I'm using is actually crushed tomatoes. And now I'm going to add my green peppers and red peppers and adding the onions and the garlic. Add the cocoa powder. So it's 1 spoonful of cocoa powder. And this is a little bit bigger than a tablespoon. And so I just have like a heaping spoon of cocoa. And then I take the sauce from the chipotle peppers. What I do is I take the Willie's container and I pour the sauce into there, one of the peppers, and rip it open and just get the seeds out and just throw that in. And then I add a little bit of water to this, just to dilute it a little bit, not a lot. Give it a good shake. And then pour that in. And then mix that up. Get it so all the cocoa powder is in there nice and deep. And as you can see, we're not right to the top. We're about 1 inch from the top right there. There are 2 options. You can add your thyme, your basil, your tarragon, your whole rosemary, some cayenne, and some crushed chilies, which is basically the seeds and everything, right? Which will also give it some heat. Or you have the option of cheating and either adding a hot and spicy chili clubhouse or a chili mix. Now, I don't normally do this, but I'm doing this video for my brother and a couple other people, and they just like quick and easy. They just want to win the contest at their office. This is the quick and easy route. If you want a little spicy, this is not hot at all. If you just want a little extra, you can throw this in. Or you do what I do, and you just add all the herbs into this mortar and pestle and crush them up and then pour them in. Okay, so I'm just crushing up everything in the mortar and pestle, and then once I've got it all ready to go, I will pour it in. You can also use a coffee grinder. You don't have to use a mortar and pestle. Okay, one added note. If you want your chili even a little hotter, because right now it's actually fairly mild, you can actually take the pepperettes, the hot ones, and dice these up and throw those in there, and they literally will be non-existent. You won't even see them in there, but it will give you that desired heat that you're looking for. And of course, the other option is if you want to keep this all beef, because there are some people that don't like pork, because this is a pork based, the hot sausages, and I'm going to put those in. I'm going to keep this all beef because I'm sure I might have a friend tomorrow that comes over that doesn't like pork. So I'll put those in. Okay, my secret ingredient is Doritos sweet chili. I know it's kind of odd, but you can use these, and it adds a little bit of heat and a little bit of sweet, and it just gives that nice rounded flavor. And I usually put them in a bag, a handful into a bag, and I crush them up, and then I add those in the next day. Don't put them in until the next day. If you put them in too soon, then all the fluid in the chili will actually literally disappear. This will thicken up the chili. It will give a nice thickness to the chili. Right now, there's the actual ground beef will actually still put out some more water, so it will actually you'll find that it will be a little more fluid come tomorrow morning. So a handful of these into a Ziploc bag, crush them up, get them to in a fine powder, and that's my secret ingredient day. Or if you want it to just be hot, spicy, get the roulette Doritos chips, and that will do the exact same thing. And you'll notice the color will actually start to get a little deeper. Slow cooker's on high, and so I'll leave it like that for about 2.5 to 3 hours. To low for an hour, and then leave it to warm, and then by tomorrow afternoon it should be all good to go. Alright guys, it's been 3 hours. So now I'm going to flip it to warm. Some people, slow cookers, you can actually flip to low, and it will cook no problem for a long period of time. For me, I find my low is actually a little high, and it actually separates. So I have to set it to warm, and we should be good.